Hamilton Mayor Andrea Horwath joins us now with an update of what's going on around the city. And let's talk about a move. There was a proposed ban this week that was brought up at council about banning encampments in city parks, and you moved to stop that ban or move it ahead.
No, in fact, what the motion was to move a decision that we had already made for Q1 of 2025 forward. But the last council made a decision that ended us up in court in 2021. We have to, everything we do to deal with the crisis that we're in when it comes to encampments has to keep that at the top of our mind, because we don't want to do anything that'll pull us backwards or that will prevent us from taking action in the future. And so it was irresponsible, really. It was more political than it was practical, and that's why that's why I needed to do that as mayor, because it's my responsibility. We already had a date in place. It's coming very, very soon, but it's taking into consideration the legal situation that we're facing. So we really couldn't do that.
And where is that legal situation coming from? What's the lawsuit?
We are in court over encampments.
Oh, okay. This is the CN?
No, this is not the CN. This is the former council made a decision, and advocates for unhoused people basically took us to court on a human rights matter, and so a charter challenge. And so we have to deal with that. We've been working on it for some time, but the next hearing is coming up very, very soon, and we can't do anything that's precipitous and that might cause us trouble with that process. And so again, I get the politics of it, but the responsibility of our council is to do the right thing by the city while we try to actually solve the crisis that we're in. And so again, I'm excited about the things that we're doing to try to help reduce the pressure. I get it. There's a lot of fatigue out there. We do have a very compassionate community, but there is compassion fatigue, and I understand that. We all want to see our green spaces and our parks and our places of common space available to everyone. I want that. I know everybody wants that, and we're working really hard to make that happen in a way that will stick, if you know what I mean, in a way that will be permanent. And so that's the work that we're doing.
Okay, and work moving forward with people who are unhoused right now is the tiny shelters. When is that about to start?
Well, we're on track for things to be, already we're in the process of expanding the existing shelter system, but the temporary outdoor shelter is expected to be up and running in December. And so I'm proud of the staff of the City of Hamilton and the agencies in our community, including the police, who've worked really, really hard to get us to where we are. It's not, you know, there's no single solution. What we need is permanent housing, and I can tell you I'm working hard on that as well. But there are other, and so that's one piece of what's happening in the city. But there are, you know, it's 2 years next week that we got sworn in as a council, and so in that time, the crisis has increased for sure, but we have some solutions finally in place. We will hopefully be resolving that issue that happened with the last council soon. But we have the LRT announcement, which is amazing. We have the arena that's being finally under construction. We got the airport lease finally done, and we're moving this city forward with this council, and I'm really proud of that work.
Okay, so there was an LRT announcement by the province today that you say is a huge step that shows it is coming.
Yeah, you know, it's something that from day one, when I was briefed on the status of the LRT, what the staff told me from day one at the city is we need procurement to start. Once procurement starts, that's the signal that everything's moving forward. And so I was really happy to have the Minister of Transportation, really happy that Premier Ford and the Ontario government are moving the project forward. And I think people may not recognize that it's not our project. It's going to be owned by Metrolinx, so we don't own it. They do, and so it's up to them to build it. And that was not happening in any big way. But this is really a giant step forward. In early 2025, they will have the bids in. Then they will make a decision on who the successful bidder or group of bidders is, and then into construction about a year after that, maybe 18 months. But that's how long these things take. Nothing happens overnight. And when you're building a huge transportation link like that one,
right through the city,
right through the middle of the city, and importantly, doing hundreds of millions of underground work on pipes and water systems and wastewater systems and all of the things that are very, very old underneath that line. And so that would have landed on the City of Hamilton taxpayers eventually if this project hadn't gone forward. And so the project, yes, it's amazing transportation line, but it's also going to fix or upgrade or replace, actually, most of our underground works that would be hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars.
Okay, so we're out of time, but I got to ask you, because everybody's asking this, when's it going to be finished?
Well, that
Do you know?
So no, I mean, because that's what the RFQ is. The RFQ is having that conversation. One thing for sure, though, it's not going to take as long as the Eglinton Crosstown. And Phil Verster from Metrolinx guaranteed me that.
Okay.
It's not going to take as long as the Eglinton Crosstown. Why? Because they're actually doing it differently. They're doing it in two phases, the underground work first and then the above ground work after, so that they don't end up with conflict between the people that are really good at the underground stuff and the people that are really good at the building of trains and tracks and all of that.
We're going to have plenty more conversations.
Oh, I know we are.
Yeah,
and I'm excited about it.
Okay, thanks very much. We will be right back with more Morning Live.